The fearful swordsman the wind, sharp with the scent of pine and distant snow, whipped Riku's Haori around him as he trekked the mountain path. Beside him, Aika's wooden box, a constant, comforting weight, swayed gently. Inside, Aika slept, or perhaps merely rested, her presence a silent reminder of his purpose. 2 months had passed since he'd emerged from the final selection, a newly forged moon hunter, his Nichiren blade now a tangible extension of his will. The grueling training under Kiyoshi-sensei had sculpted his body and mind. But nothing could truly prepare him for the chilling reality of his first solo missions. His current assignment led him to the village of Hanamura, nestled deep within the treacherous Suzume Mountains. Reports spoke of travelers vanishing along the old trade route, their disappearances marked by strange, guttural cries echoing from the shadowed ravines. A Nightborn was at work, preying on the isolated. As he descended into Hanamura, the air grew heavy with an unspoken dread. The few villagers he saw moved with hunched shoulders and averted eyes. He approached the local inn, its paper screens rattling in the wind. Before he could step inside, a figure burst out, nearly colliding with him. It was a young man, perhaps Riku's age, with hair that seemed perpetually disheveled and eyes wide with an almost comical panic. He wore a standard moon hunter uniform, but his Haori was askew. But his Nichiren blade, but sheathed, looked almost too heavy for him. "Wo. Watch it!" the young man stammered, flailing his arms. He took a step back, then seemed to realize Riku also wore the uniform. "Oh, another hunter. Thank the gods. You're here for that thing, right?" His voice was high-pitched, his gaze darting nervously around the deserted street. Riku nodded, a slight frown creasing his brow. "Riku Hoshino. I was dispatched to investigate the disappearances along the mountain pass." "Haru Ito," the young man blurted, offering a shaky bow. Yes, the disappearances. It's a demon, all right. A truly terrifying one. I heard its cries. Sent shivers right down my spine. I've been, gathering intel. Very important intel." He finished with a nervous cough, his eyes still wide. Riku sensed Haru's unease. "Have you located it?" Haru gulped. "Not exactly located it, no. But the disappearances are always near the old shrine, just a bit further up the pass. I was just about to, consult my map. Very complex map." He fumbled for a scroll, his hands trembling. Riku sighed. He'd expected allies, not this. "Show me." They began their ascent, Haru constantly glancing over his shoulder, muttering about the cold and the unnerving quiet. Aika's box remained a silent presence on Riku's back. He could feel her stirring slightly, sensing the shift in atmosphere. As they neared the old, dilapidated shrine, nestled amongst ancient cedars, the air grew colder, heavier. A faint, cloying scent, like rotting meat and stale blood, hung in the air. Riku's hand instinctively went to the hilt of his Nichiren blade. "See? I told you," Haru whispered, his voice barely audible. He was practically vibrating with fear, clutching his sword hilt so tightly his knuckles were white. "It's here." A low growl, more animal than human, echoed from the shrine's interior. A moment later, a dark shape darted between the crumbling pillars. It was a Nightborn, lean and wiry, with elongated limbs and claws tipped with obsidian. Its skin was a sickly gray, and its eyes glowed with malevolent hunger. It snarled, fixing its gaze on the two hunters. Haru let out a strangled yelp. "There it is. The monster. It's going to eat us. I knew it. I knew I shouldn't have come this way." He took a frantic step back, tripping over a loose stone. "Haru, focus," Riku commanded, drawing his blade with a practiced shing. The silver-blue steel gleamed faintly. The demon lunged, moving with surprising speed. Riku met it head-on. Water-breathing, third form, flowing dance. Riku spun, his blade a blur, deflecting the demon's claws and weaving through its attacks with liquid grace. The demon hissed, its movements erratic but powerful. Riku pressed his attack, seeking an opening in its neck. Haru, meanwhile, was cowering behind a fallen stone lantern, peeking out with one eye. "Get it, Riku. Get it good. Don't let it touch you." "Oh, this is bad. This is really, really bad." Riku gritted his teeth. He couldn't afford to be distracted. He needed to finish this quickly. He parried another swipe, the impact jarring his arm. The demon was more resilient than he'd anticipated for a basic Nightborn. Suddenly, the demon let out a piercing shriek, its eyes widening. It wasn't looking at Riku anymore. It was staring at Aika's box. Aika, sensing the danger, had begun to growl, a low, guttural rumble that vibrated through the wood. The demon, perhaps recognizing the unusual demonic aura, hesitated, a flicker of fear in its eyes. Seeing its momentary distraction, Riku lunged. Water breathing, first form, water surface slash. His blade arced, aiming for the demon's neck. But just as the Nichiren was about to connect, the demon, with a desperate burst of speed, darted to the side, narrowly avoiding the fatal blow. It was faster than Riku had given it credit for. It aimed a vicious counterattack, its claws raking towards Riku's unprotected side. Riku braced himself, knowing he couldn't fully evade in time. Then a blur. Faster than Riku could track, Haru, who had been cowering just moments before, shot from behind the lantern. He moved with an almost impossible speed, a flash of white uniform. His Nichiren blade, drawn in a single fluid motion, didn't aim for the kill. Instead, it struck the demon's arm with a precise, glancing blow, just enough to disrupt its attack and send it stumbling back with a pained shriek. Haru landed a few feet away, his body trembling, his eyes still wide with terror. He looked like he was about to faint, but his blade was still out, but shaking visibly. Riku stared, stunned. That speed, it was incredible. He hadn't seen anything like it from a fellow beginner. It was almost as if Haru's fear, instead of paralyzing him, had amplified his agility to an absurd degree. "And now, finish it, Riku. Finish it," Haru shrieked, pointing his trembling blade at the demon, which was clutching its injured arm, snarling. Riku, snapping out of his surprise, didn't hesitate. The demon was disoriented, its guard lowered. He channeled his breath, moving with renewed precision. Water-breathing, fifth form, blessed rain after the drought. His blade descended, swift and merciful, severing the demon's neck in a single, clean strike. The demon's head rolled, its body crumbling into ash, leaving only the lingering stench. Silence fell, broken only by the wind and Haru's frantic panting. He dropped his blade with a clatter, collapsing onto his knees, his face pale. We did it!" he gasped, tears welling in his eyes, a mix of terror and relief. "Oh, thank the gods, we did it! I thought we were goners." Riku slowly sheathed his blade, his eyes still on Haru. "You moved incredibly fast," he said, his voice flat, a hint of frustration underlying his words. "Why didn't you do that sooner?" Haru looked up, bewildered. "Do what?" "Oh, that was just pure panic. My body just moved. I didn't mean to. I just wanted it to stop attacking. I'm still shaking. I think I might throw up." He clutched his stomach, looking genuinely distressed. Riku shook his head. Haru was undeniably a coward. His fear was palpable, almost suffocating. Yet, in that critical moment, his innate talent had shone through, a flash of pure, unadulterated speed that had saved Riku from injury. It was bewildering. Aika stirred in her box, letting out a soft rumble, as if sensing the danger had passed. Riku reached back, patting the lid. "Well," Riku said, turning his back on the ashes of the demon. "The mission is complete. The villagers are safe." Haru scrambled to his feet, quickly retrieving his blade. Right? Safe. Excellent. My intel gathering skills proved invaluable, wouldn't you say? Led you right to the monster. He tried to puff out his chest, but his trembling hands betrayed him. Riku didn't respond, merely giving Haru a long, evaluating look. This Haru Ito was an enigma, a wailing, terrified mess, yet with the potential for remarkable skill. He was going to be a frustrating ally, Riku realized, but perhaps a valuable one. I'll report to headquarters, Riku said, starting back down the path. Haru practically skipped to catch up, still chattering nervously. Good idea. I'll just, make sure no other demons are lurking. From a safe distance, of course. You go ahead. I'll be right behind you, eventually. Riku just walked, the wind carrying Haru's anxious voice behind him. The path of a moon hunter was not just about confronting demons, he mused. It was also about navigating the strange, often contradictory, nature of the humans who fought alongside him. And with Haru Ito, it seemed his journey had just become significantly more complicated.